welcome to day 6 of our Sacred Strength Intermediate program. Today we are going to practice some yoga. So we're going to come to our mat. We're going to actually start seated today. So you have a couple of different options for our seated position. You can be cross-legged just like this. If this is difficult for you, you can either grab a block, place it underneath the hips so the hips are slightly elevated. You can also release the ankles so you can have one foot in front of the other. Or if this is still a little difficult for you, you can bring both feet together, bottoms of the feet touching each other. If this is easy for you, you always have the option of bringing one foot up. If this is still easy for you, you can come into a full Padmasana, bringing both feet up. So wherever you are today, find that comfortable seated position. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, so we feel our spine nice and long. Opening up the chest, we're gonna bring our palms up on the knees, shoulders back and down, eyes closed. We're gonna start by taking 3 deep breaths. And remember, in our yoga practice, we want to practice something called an ujjayi breath, which is trying to only breathe in and out through the nose. And then we want to create almost like this whispering on the back of the throat, almost like you're trying to fog a mirror, but with your mouth closed. So it'll sound like this. We'll take 2 more of those long inhales and long exhales. One more. Exhale everything. Good. We'll open the eyes, interlace our fingers, bring the palms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lengthen nice and tall. And exhale over to the side. Inhale all the way back up. And exhale over to the other side. And inhaling back up, we're going to do that same thing, but this time we're going to grab opposite elbows, lengthening nice and tall. Exhale over. Inhale up. And exhale to the other side. Inhaling all the way back up, release the arms, interlace the fingers behind you. Hi Fauna, how are you doing today? She joins us when she feels like it. I want you to try to bring your knuckles to the ground, open up that chest, look up, take a big inhale. And then exhale, you have 2 options. You can start to lean forward and take the arms up as high as you can take them. If that's difficult for you, you can release the hands and start to walk the hands as far forward as you can take them. Wherever you are is perfect. Get one more deep breath. And wherever you are, release the arms and sit up nice and tall. We're going to come into that seated spinal twist. So you're going to take your left hand behind you and you want to make a second spine. And what I mean by that is I want you to get your wrist as close to the base of the spine as you can and then press your hand into the ground so that we create space in between the vertebrae, right? And then we're going to take our right hand up, reach it up towards the ceiling. Why am I doing this? Because I want to create even more space in the spine. Take a big inhale here and then exhale, take that right hand, cross it over, grab the outside of the left knee, and I want you to imagine that you're twisting up. So I don't want you to twist down, I want you to twist up towards the ceiling. Good. And your breathing here is those nice belly breaths. So as I inhale, I'm trying to puff my belly out, and exhale, I'm squeezing my belly in, bringing out all my internal organs. This is amazing detox posture. One more. And then to come out of it, we'll take our right hand all the way back up towards the ceiling and we're going to switch. So the right hand comes right behind, create that second spine, take the left hand up, lengthen nice and tall, cross it over, grab the outside of that right knee, and you're going to twist up. Good. We're just going to take 2 more big breaths here. One more. And we can release by reaching that left hand up into the air, release it down, and release the right. Good. We're going to actually come onto all fours for our cat-cow. So I want to walk my hands forward, lift my seat, and bring my knees right underneath my hips, wrists right underneath my shoulders, fingers spread. We're going to drop the belly, look up, open up the chest, take a big inhale. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, puff the back out. Good. We're just going to take 2 more like this. Dropping the belly, inhale, look up, big inhale. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, puff the back out. Good. 1 more, dropping the belly, looking up, big inhale. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, chin to chest, puff the back out. Go ahead and come to a flat back, and now I want you to take a moment just to have some free movement here. And what I mean by that, you can bring your hips to the side, you can bring your hips back, you can bring your hips forward, release the neck. Just feel into your own body. Good, just a couple more breaths like this. And then we'll come back to all fours wherever we are. We're gonna tuck the toes under, and we're gonna drive those hips towards the ceiling, coming into our downward dog. Okay, so in our downward dog, we wanna have our fingers spread. We wanna use our fingertips. I wanna relax my shoulders away from the ears. So if you feel that your traps or the muscles around your neck and shoulders are getting tight in this position, I want you to consciously try to relax the shoulders away. So I'm actually feeling like my shoulder blades are engaging down into my back, okay? You're gonna look up, your drishti, your focus point is your belly button. And here you can even start to pump the legs out one at a time, meaning bending one knee and then the other. Kind of work into this position. I feel my legs are a little tight from this week. Yours probably are too, so let's take it slow today. Good, come all the way up onto the balls of the feet. You're gonna bend your knees and try to bring your chest towards your legs. From here, you're gonna try to straighten both of the legs. Good, we're gonna try that again. So inhale, come up onto the balls of the feet. Then you're gonna bend your knees, bring your chest towards your legs. And then you're gonna try to straighten the legs from there. Good, one more time, all the way up, balls of the feet. Bend the knees, bring your chest towards your legs. And then you're gonna try to straighten the legs from there. Good, look between the hands. I want you to walk between the hands. Come into a full forward bend and drop the head. From here, I want you to try to just loosen everything up. So you can shake your head yes, shake your head no. You can even sway your body from side to side. Good, you can even shake the knees out a little bit here. Just loosen everything up. One more deep breath. And then we're gonna bend the knees, and we're gonna very slowly roll ourselves up to stand. So the head is actually the last thing to come up. You're gonna start by just tucking your tailbone and feeling that you're coming up vertebrae by vertebrae. Very slow, very controlled. When we start to come all the way up to stand, we're gonna take those arms all the way out and around. Reach your hands to make a prayer position, and you're gonna extend by driving your hips forward, and then exhale, bring your hands to chest, prayer at your heart center. Good. All right, so we're gonna come into these sun salutations. If you were in our beginners program, you kind of know the drill of how we're going to have 2 different options for our sun salutations. Today I'm gonna go the first one a little bit slow with you just as a reminder, but then we're gonna speed it up a little bit, okay? Because we really wanna focus on being able to connect our practice to our breath, meaning every breath is a movement as we flow through our sun salutations. So anytime you do a sun salutation, you're always gonna start at the front of your mat, okay? And you have 2 options for feet positioning. So you can either have your feet completely together like this is more of a classical stance, or you can have your feet hips width apart. This is more of a therapeutic stance. Wherever you are is perfect, and that might change day to day, right? So today I'm gonna go ahead and take more of a therapeutic stance. I'm gonna spread my toes. Sometimes it helps to spread your fingers to spread your toes because you want a nice solid foundation. You're gonna have a little tiny bend in the knees just so that you can start to externally rotate your knees, and now you're gonna feel like your legs are actually turned on. I'm gonna take my tailbone and tuck my tailbone down, right? So I'm tucking under, and then I'm gonna take my rib cage and I'm gonna close that down on an exhale. So I'm already feeling from here down, everything is nice and solid and strong. I'm gonna open up my chest, bring my shoulders back and down, and then bring my hands into prayer. And the back of my neck is even nice and long because I feel like the top of my head is reaching up towards the ceiling. So this is how we start our sun salutation. We already feel nice and strong and active, ready to move, right? So you're gonna start by exhaling everything out completely. And on your inhale, I'm gonna start moving with my hips moving forward first, right? So I inhale, my hips move forward. I'm gonna take my arms straight up into the air. And I want my arms to be on either side of my ears, almost like earmuffs. And then on my exhale, I'm gonna open up my arms and swan dive into a full forward bend. Good. On your inhale, you're gonna bring your hands to your shins and you're gonna try to lengthen the spine even more. And then on my exhale, I'm gonna fall into an even deeper forward fold. Now our next positioning is really important because we're gonna place our hands down, and where we place our hands, that's where they're gonna stay. So we wanna make sure that they're in a perfect position. So I spread my fingers, I bend my knees if I need to, and then I'm gonna take one foot back and then the other. Good, so you're in a plank position from here. Now you have two options. You can either come forward into a knees, chest and chin. If you're in this position, your next move is into a baby cobra, right? I have no pressure on my hands here. My chest is nice and open. My next option is to come into a full chaturanga. So that means I'm pointing my toes. You see how you can point and flex your feet and you're either gonna be shifting forward or backwards. I'm not dropping my hips at all. So I'm gonna shift my weight far, far forward, open up my chest, squeeze my elbows into my body, lower down with control, and then from here I'm gonna push forward into my upward dog. Okay, so wherever we are is perfect. I wanted to take a little time to explain those two things too, because like I said, from here we're gonna start moving it a little bit quicker. So come into your plank position. Decide what you're gonna do, knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga. Wherever we are, we're gonna shift lower with control, forward into your baby cobra or your upward dog, and then on your exhale, wherever you are, you're gonna push into your downward dog. Good, take a couple deep breaths here. Practicing that ujjayi breath. One more deep breath. You're gonna look between the hands, walk between the hands, come into a full forward bend, exhale, drop the head. To come up, you're gonna take your arms out into a perfect T. Let that raise you, right? We're gonna lift from here, flat back. Find the rotation in the shoulders, hips are gonna drive forward. Inhale, lengthen nice and tall. And exhale, hands into prayer. So let's do that again this time. Really trying to connect that breath with our movement. So stand, whether you're in that therapeutic stance or your classical stance, wherever you are. Your toes are spread. Knees are slightly bent, externally rotated. Tailbone is tucked. Rib cage is down, shoulders back and down, hands in prayer. Back of the neck is nice and long. Exhale everything out completely. As we inhale, the hips move forward, the arms come up. Exhale, I'm swan diving into a full forward bend. Inhale, hands come to the shins, lengthen the spine. Exhale, place your hands down, nice strong position, step into your plank. Either come knees, chest, and chin to baby cobra or full chaturanga into our upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Two more deep breaths here. Again, my fingers are spread, my shoulders are relaxed away from my ears. Good, feeling that stretch on the back of the legs. Look between the hands, walk between the hands, come into a full forward bend. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale, take those arms out into that perfect T. Take it all the way up with a flat back. Find the rotation in the shoulders. Hips come forward. Inhale, lengthen nice and long. Exhale, hands into prayer. We're going to do that same thing one more time. So inhaling all the way up, hips come forward. Exhale, swan dive into a full forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step into your plank. Knees, chest, and chin, or chaturanga, wherever you are. Baby cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Good. Keep breathing here. One more deep breath. Now I want you to take your right foot up into the air. Reach it up as high as you can take it. Reach, 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 reach. And then you're gonna bend that right knee, hug your knee into your chest so it's like you're at the top of a plank position. And then from here, really puff that back out because you're going to try to lift and place that right foot in between the hands. Drop that back knee. And wherever you've landed your foot, even if it's back here, I want you to heel toe that foot forward until you can come all the way down. Now, when I'm in my furthest depth of this position here, like we were talking about the other day, I want to make sure that my knee is stacked directly above my ankle. Okay, so look down, make sure that knee is right above the ankle. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Good. Now, you can be a little bit more passive in this position. I'm really sinking into it. Or if you want to move a little bit more active into this position, you can come all the way up onto your fingertips and start to open up the chest. Good. One more deep breath here. And now I'm going to place my hands down and I'm going to start to heel toe this right foot a little bit more center. And now I'm almost going to get it in line with this left armpit. And then what I'm going to try to do is come all the way down into my pigeon pose. Okay? If this is difficult for you to get into this position from here, what you can do is sink your hips back, lower all the way down onto your seat, take this right knee, and you always want with a pigeon pose for that right knee never to be at the exact center of your chest. You actually want it to be more in line with this outside right armpit. And then your gauge of how deep that you're going to get into this posture is going to be where this foot is placed. So you never want it to be too tight here because look, I'm driving too much into my knee here. So you're going to, the minimal position that you'll be at is slightly outside of that left hip here. Now, I say that this is the gauge because if you want to go deeper into this posture, the more you take this right foot out, the more you're going to feel this in the depths of this hip, right? Until, of course, you get all the way, all the way, all the way. One of the most difficult is having this shin in line with the top of the mat, and you can keep going all the way into a split. So wherever we are, find yourself there. You're going to lift up and over, up and over. Okay, make sure that back leg is nice and long. Open up the chest, and then we're going to come down belly first. You can come onto your forearms. If this is enough for you here, that's fine. If you want to take this a little bit further, you can actually come all the way down onto the hands. And if you are in this position, you can actually bring your left ear to your hands and rest in this position. Wherever you are is perfect. I just want you to focus on sending your exhales to that right hip. Good. We talked a little bit about this in our beginners program, but our hips is actually where we store a lot of emotion. Yes, of course, sometimes we can store it in our neck and shoulders as well, but you'd be surprised that we also store, whether it be stress, anxiety, tension, any sort of emotion we can hold in our hips. So when we're doing these hip opening postures, which we're actually getting into quite a bit today, I want you to be really mindful of the thoughts that come up. Don't try to change them, just observe them. Good, take a couple of deep breaths, and every exhale you just feel like you're releasing, you're letting go. Just a couple more breaths here. One more. And exhale everything. Now to come out of this, we're actually going to lean onto this right hip. We're actually going to take this left leg all the way around and cross it over. So let me face you. You can see a little bit clearer. You're going to take this left foot and place it down to the outside of this right knee. If you're here, that's fine. But we're going to work into that same posture we were working on this past week, where you're going to either stay here if this is where you need to be, but if you want to take it a little bit further, we're going to try to stack the knees on top of each other. You're going to open up the chest from here, It's called Gomukhasana, cow pose. This is one variation of it. We're going to start to lean forward from here. Good. And just take a couple deep breaths here. Good, one more big inhale. Exhale everything. And slowly come up from here. We're going to try to take this a little bit further. Again, stay at your own pace, see where you are. Where you are is perfect, but if you want to take it a little bit further, we're going to actually release this leg. And you see this bottom leg, I'm gonna flex my right foot, and I want to feel like my shin is actually in line with the top of my yoga mat, okay? And from here, you're going to try, even if you're just here, this is fine already, you can start to lean forward into this position. If not, you wanna take it further, we're gonna try to stack ankle over knee, knee over ankle, yeah. And you're gonna flex both of your feet. You're going to open up the chest from here and try to, yes, lean forward. Good. We're only taking a few more deep breaths here. Again, wherever you are is perfect. Give me one more deep breath. And we'll slowly come back up. You're going to release this left foot and the right foot. And then you're just going to rock your knees from side to side just like this. Good. From here, we're going to take this left leg straight back. We're going to drop just like we were in the beginning of that pigeon pose. The right leg is down, the left leg is straight back. You're going to take your hands and you're going to bring them on either side of that front knee. You're going to now tuck this back to under, and you're going to try to take that right leg all the way back up in the air. Good. Release the right foot down, and we're going to do that same thing on the opposite side. So take your left leg up, reach, reach, reach. Then you're going to bring your left knee into the chest, lift nice and high. Puff the back out. This is going to give you a little bit more height. And then you're going to try to lift and place that left foot in between the hands. Drop that back knee. Again, wherever you are, even if your foot is back here, I want you to start to heel toe this foot forward. So that when we're in the depth of this movement, my knee is right over my ankle. Look back, make sure that right leg is nice and long. And just take a couple deep breaths here. Again, you can be a bit passive in this, which is just resting into this position. Or if you want to take it a little bit more active, you can come onto your fingertips and start to open up the chest. Good. Wherever you are is perfect. Take a couple of deep breaths. And from here, we're going to come into that pigeon pose. So if you can drop into pigeon pose from here, this is how we would come into it. But if it's a little bit difficult for you to move from there, what you can do is bring your hip back, bring this left knee down, come to seated. Make sure this right leg is nice and straight, and then we can adjust this left leg from here. Again, I don't want the knee directly in the center of my chest for this position. And I don't want my heel too close underneath my body, because then I'm going to be pressing too much into this knee. And that's not the point of this movement. So I want to take my left knee to the outside, so it's almost in line with my left armpit, right? Again, use this bottom foot as a gauge. If it's too close in, you're not going to feel the stretch where we want to feel it. You want to have it slightly out, almost like it's coming to the outside of this right hip. If this is easy for you, you can take it a little bit further, wherever you are, again, is great. So find your position, and then you're going to press up. So we're gonna come up and over into this movement. Again, look back, make sure this right leg is nice and long. And then we can come on to either our forearms and stay here, or if you wanna go a bit deeper, you can bring those elbows out to the side, bring the palms on top of one another, and bring your right cheek down to the hands. Good. Again, wherever we are, I just want you to think about sending those exhales to that left hip. Long inhales, long exhales, releasing everything. Trying to relax the shoulders. We're just taking a few more deep breaths here. One more long inhale. Exhale everything. Let's come out of this position. We're going to roll onto that left hip. We're going to sweep this right foot all the way around. Let me face you here. So you bring the right foot around. If you're here, you're here. If you can take it a little bit further, fantastic. Even if you're in this position, that's fine. If you want to take it to the furthest, you're going to bring that right foot all the way back so that the right knee is stacked right on top of that left knee. From here, you're just going to open up the chest and exhale, moving forward with the belly first, and come into that forward fold. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Three more breaths, that's all. Long inhales. Long exhales. Good, one more. We'll slowly walk our hands back up. And now from here, we're gonna try to take it a little bit further. So you're gonna replace this right foot so we can adjust this bottom leg. So you're gonna flex the left foot and you're gonna bring that shin in line with the top of the mat, okay? And then we're going to try, again, if you're here, this is fine. You can start to lean into this position. If you can take it a little bit further, we're going to try to flex this right foot, stack ankle over knee, and then knee over ankle, okay? I know. And then from here, we're gonna open up the chest just like we did before, and then exhale, start to lean forward into this position. Good. Take a couple more deep breaths here. Long inhales. Long exhales. Try to relax the shoulders. Remember, we don't want to force anything here. Just slightly leaning forward. Using gravity and your breath to relax all the muscles. One more big inhale. Exhale everything. And we're gonna slowly walk ourselves back up. We're gonna release this right foot and then the left. we're just gonna rock those knees from side to side. Good. Now we're gonna take those bottoms of the feet and touch each other. And again, in this position, let's start with a wider diamond. So you don't want them too far in. You want them actually a little bit further out, so you have this bigger diamond right here. And then you're gonna grab onto either your ankles or the shins. You're gonna sit up nice and tall. And then you're gonna exhale, again, lean forward with the belly first. And forward fold. Same thing, relax the shoulders. I don't want you to be hinging so much here, right? I'd rather you sit up nice and tall. Even if you can only go this far, that's fine. But what I don't want is this straining of the back muscles. I actually want you to feel like you're strengthening the back muscles while moving forward with the belly first. Give me 2 more deep breaths here. One more. And slowly coming back up. This time I want you to bring your feet even closer in towards the body. Sit up again nice and tall and start to lean forward from here. So I don't want to round my back out. Again, I want to sit up nice and tall and start to lean forward. Give me 2 more deep breaths. One more big inhale. Exhale everything. And slowly coming back up. We're going to release the legs all the way forward and just rock your legs from side to side, just like this. The last asana that we're going to come into today is going to be Paschimottanasana, full forward bend. You're going to flex your feet, open up the chest, and again, start to lean forward with the belly. If you need to here, you can have your hands on the back of the thighs. You can have them on the back of the calves. You can bring them to your ankles, and you can even bring them to the tops of the toes. But the only way that I want you to be reaching your toes is if your back is totally flat, meaning in alignment, core is on, and I don't want you to feel this movement. It's the same thing like I was telling you in the previous asana, because when we're doing this, we're actually straining our back muscles, which is the opposite of what we want to do. We're doing 2 main things in this posture. We're strengthening the back and we're stretching the back of the legs. Okay, so I want you to really feel this chest opening position, flex the feet, and then really feel like the hinge is coming from the hips. So even if you're here and you are already starting to feel this, that's fine, right? Just take 3 more deep breaths, but every exhale, I don't want you to be pulling forward like this. I want you to actually be opening up the chest and leaning forward from there. Now, if you can get all the way into this position and then touch your toes, that's perfectly fine. But again, don't be reaching for your toes if you feel like this is going to compromise your posture. Okay? Just give me 3 more deep breaths here. One more. And bring it all the way back up. And now from here, we'll come all the way down into our Shavasana. Release the legs. Tuck your tailbone and roll, roll, roll all the way down. Good. From here, you're going to have your palms facing up towards the ceiling. Shoulders are relaxed. Toes are hanging out to the side. And I want you to just relax everything down into the ground. You can have the eyes closed. Relax the toes and the arches of the feet, the ankles, the lower legs and the upper legs. If Feeling both legs fully relaxed. Relax the glutes, let the hips sink down to the ground. Relax the lower abdomen and the upper abdomen. The lower back, mid back, and the upper back. Relax the chest. Feel the entire torso fully relaxed. Relax the fingers, the palms of the hands, wrists, the lower arms, and the upper arms, the shoulders. Feeling both arms fully relaxed. Relax the shoulders and the neck muscles, releasing any tension, any stress from the week, from the day. Just let it go. Feeling the shoulders and the neck muscles fully relaxed. Relax the chin and the lips, the cheeks, the nose, the eyes, and the eyebrows, the space between the eyebrows, the forehead, and the temples. Feeling the entire face fully relaxed. Relax the ears, sides of the head, back of the head, and the top of the head. Feeling what it feels like to have the entire body fully relaxed. Feeling space in the body. Finding the space between the thoughts. Doing nothing at all. Just relaxing. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly deepen the breath. Slowly moving the fingers and the toes, the wrists and the ankles. When you're ready, taking the arms overhead, inhale, lengthening tall. Feeling the space between the ribs and the hips expand. And when you're ready, bringing the knees into the chest. Hugging your knees in, giving yourself a big hug, thanking yourself for showing up on the mat today. When you're ready, rolling onto the left side of the body, relaxing there for a moment. And when you're ready, slowly coming up to seated where we begin. Cross leg, shoulders back and down. If you need to bring one foot in front of the other, you can. Bottoms of the feet touching each other, you can do so also. This time we're going to have our thumb and first fingers touching. Eyes closed, shoulders are relaxed. We're going to inhale, fill the belly up like a balloon. And exhale, squeeze the belly in. 2 more deep breaths like this. Inhale, filling the belly. And exhale, squeezing the belly in. Exhale everything out. 1 more, inhale. Exhale everything. Return the breath to normal. And then we'll take our hands behind, grab one wrist, bow down, thank yourself. The yogi seal, sealing in all the energy from our practice. And inhaling back up, we'll bring our hands into prayer. Exhale everything out completely. And we'll inhale to Om, big inhale. May the rest of our week be filled with light, love, peace, joy, and open hearts. Namaste. Thank you for this amazing class. I just gathered more cats as the class was finished. I hope you have an amazing, beautiful, lovely, fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow for our active recovery. Namaste. Ciao.